Good to have you back.
Thank you.
What's the beginning of it?
See you again. I want to jump right into it. Let's start with immigration. We see the text.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I should have warned everyone right out of the gate. The fold is pretty overwhelming right now. It's hanging down there. It's like a empty horse scrotum. It's rough. Don't say you weren't warned.
Of this bill last night, which I just think blew a lot of minds. What is this thing? I mean, if
I don't know, read it and fucking find out, dummy.
5,000 is now the appropriate limit, anything under 5,000, which is 1.8 million a year, and you have
they're not let in, you dumb motherfucker. This is, oh God, I'm fine. They almost got me. They almost lured me into getting, the 5,000 isn't the number where they're actually let in and they get to stay, you dumb motherfucker. It's just the number of people encountered at the border across the entire southern border. If 5,000 people try to cross the border and are processed in 8,500 in one day, or 5,000 over the course of 4,000 over the course of 7 days, allows the secretary to do it. 5,000 over 6 days allows the president to just jump in there himself. It's just about processing them, because we only have a certain number of like lawyers and judges and processing ability, and if it overwhelms that, then we just shut it down entirely. Those people don't get in, you dumb motherfucker. We're not allowing in 5,000. That talking point is fucking stupid. It's not what it says. It's not so much that it's a lie, it's that it's a fucking dumb lie.
Republicans itching to sign off on this in the Senate. I mean,
yeah, do you think they want 1.8 million Hispanics and South Americans coming into the fucking country to just are they part of, the Republican senators are for the great replacement theory. They've signed on with George Soros, and get the fuck out of here.
Well, it's hard to believe, because I think it probably would mean the end of their career. This is a Democrat trap. It's a trap for Republicans.
Yes, and you can't get out of it. It's a finger cuff, dumb fuck. You're stuck. If you try to, if you vote for it, you're fucked. If you vote against it, you're fucked. It's hilarious.
That would be so stupid, so foolish to sign a bill like this. This bill can't be signed. And
they're not going to sign a bill like this. They're going to sign this actual bill. What does it say? I know Rob Schmitt doesn't know what it says. There's no fucking way he knows what it says.
It's not only that, it's massive amounts of money going out of town, as we
say. That's the way we talk about it. Out of town.
We say, going out of town. Billions and billions and billions.
To fucking Israel and Ukraine. God damn it. And also to our troops and our submarine programs and our airplanes. And it's a military defense appropriation addendum. So
billions of dollars. And it's so bad on the border. I've never seen anything like it. Actually,
you haven't seen, yes, not only has he not seen anything like it, he's actually never seen it.
Actually, it's one of the worst, one of the dumbest bills I've ever seen. I think
he's never, again, you'll notice. Does anybody else notice that he keeps saying seen instead of read? You don't think that's an important distinction? You don't think that if you knew the details of something and you were going to argue the details of something, you would say, this is the dumbest bill I've ever read. The provisions, even if you don't read the whole fucking thing, like you just read the border part and the fentanyl part, then you would say, the provisions around the border in this are some of the dumbest things I've ever read. Even if you didn't read it, somebody read it to you, you'd still say ever read, not seen. Seeing the bill is not how you know what's in it. Just saying. I just think is it just me, or does that seem like he's just fucking, all right.
It's dead, totally dead at the House. I think they have almost unanimous support. But
no.
I can't imagine anybody wanting to approve this bill.
Well, read it and then go, oh, shit, right, I can see why. Yeah. That's how I know you haven't read it.
Well, I don't understand how you could, I mean, if you're a Republican in the Senate, and that's where it has at least, I think, a few names that are going to back it, how do you let them go 3 years with what they've done and then just give them this lifeline. You know, this could really.
Why would this be a lifeline? I thought it was a fucking crisis. If it doesn't work and it's going to make the border worse, then you pass it and run on the. This is what they gave us. We wanted some changes. At least we got some more Customs and Border Patrol. The rest of it sucks ass, but we got the rest of this shit. And they're not doing anything with it. They have this power. We gave them the power to shut down the border if it reached this number. It reached that number and they didn't shut it down. You don't think this would print talking points for Republicans? Or
help them on this issue.
Help who? The cartels?
You know, in this next election.
Well,
how do you do that?
They've been doing that by giving billions and trillions of dollars away also.
Yeah.
Yes, billions and trillions of dollars. They've been giving away billions and trillions of dollars. Yeah, this is what they've been doing. They've been giving away billions and trillions. Trillions and billions. Billions of trillions. Billions of trillions. $1 billion trillion. Yeah.
This is not that.
Also, you have a moment there where Rob Schmitt had one of those, I'm talking to an idiot. No, I don't. He's a genius. I just don't understand it. I'm weak and he is strong. Okay, just what he said sounded stupid, but that's because I'm stupid, not because he's stupid. I just didn't understand it. Okay, I'm just going to nod and it will somehow make it right.
Uncommon in the Senate. Yeah. It's impossible to believe, but I did see a very good man. Steve Daines just came totally out, and he's a member.
Is he gay? Oh, congratulations. Well, I'm happy for him. I hope it relaxes him and I hope he feels better and he can integrate himself into society because Lord knows it's a different time.
Of leadership, Senate leadership, and he was very.
Oh, I see. Then probably.
Very strongly against it. I just saw that announced with great fanfare, frankly, because it.
Really? Did they play little trumpets? Did somebody go, and then there was fucking confetti? Is that what happened?
It deserves fanfare. This is not possible to believe that a thing like this could happen.
It's not possible to believe. No, it's not. It isn't. It's not possible. Why is it not? It should be possible to believe. One would hope. I think, right? Hold on. I gotta pop. Do I pop this out? How do you do it? We'll figure it out. Sorry, I'm trying to. There we go. Back to fixing something. Okay.
You already have. You don't need a bill. I had the safest border in the history of our.
He used COVID. Title 42. You could implement Title 42 because we had a COVID emergency. Without the COVID emergency, you can't use Title 42 anyways. And we're lower than 2019 numbers right now. So what the fuck is he talking about? I mean, obviously he's bullshitting, but you know what I'm saying.
He had no bill. I just said close the border. It's closed.
No, he didn't. And he didn't close the border. That's just dumb.
Closed. Then I went to Mexico. I negotiated with Mexico.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
They gave us 28,000 troops.
He didn't go to Mexico and negotiate with them. He said he called them and threatened them with terrorists.
They gave us a lot of other things. Stay in Mexico, remain. We called it remain in Mexico.
Yeah, but it's really stay. Because the idea is remain in Mexico temporarily, but stay is permanent. So I like stay in Mexico. Stay, like they're dogs, you know.
They gave us that. This bill doesn't have anything about remain in Mexico.
Yeah, it does.
This bill is impossible to believe that somebody actually negotiated. And he's a very nice guy. Yeah. James is a very nice guy.
Then if you know what, that may be true. I think he's a little weird, but whatever. He worked apparently very hard on this. If you think he's a nice guy, if you're under the impression that he's a nice guy, then maybe read his bill and then shut the fuck up.
But this is not a good thing for him.
What's it when you see the president standing on the White House lawn like he did last week, demanding that they
being the president like a jerk,
they give him the power to do something about the border.
Yeah.
And which he doesn't have because we no longer have a pandemic.
I mean, that fraudulent, I mean, it's so phony. I mean, you were the president. You don't need any more power to do it.
Yes, you do. Title 42, he was only able to use that because of COVID.
right here.
I was having a hard time with Congress. I just did it myself. I went to the military. I took money out. We built.
Yeah, you took money away from, yes, you siphoned money from the military for the wall, which made the border worse.
561 miles of wall.
Yeah.
I did it through the military. I called it an invasion. We gave them, $750 billion. I took a little bit out, and we built most of the wall. And we would have had, actually, we built more than I said I was going to build.
Yeah, but, it's not so much the wall, but the access road that allows migrants to walk to the very end of the barrier now, where before the terrain was too difficult. And now they can just walk right to the end of the U.S. property and go straight to native land or private land and just walk around.
I was campaigning, but I had another 200 miles to go, and we ordered it. It was built, ready to be installed. Could have been done in 3 weeks. Over a 3-week period, could have been done. They sold it for...
Again, just like your Iran deal, just like your fucking healthcare plan. What was stopping you, asshole? Do you just hate America after you lost the fucking election? That's what it seems like. Honest to God. That's what it seems like. It seems like once he lost the election, or it wasn't a rout and he had to even have to fight for it, he was like, fuck this dump. And he's like, I don't care if Iran murders our service people or attacks the United States or Israel. Fuck them. If they don't want me, then I don't want a deal. And even if it's a deal that would benefit the United States after I'm no longer president, screw it. Same thing with the wall. It would have taken 3 weeks. I'm not going to fucking build this. He was still president till January. He keeps saying right after the election, but all that tells you is that the minute he didn't win, he was like, fuck America that day. Seriously. He checked out. He stopped being president on November 6th. All these things. I could have had this deal with Iran in 2 weeks. I could have finished this wall in 3 weeks. I could have had a healthcare plan in 2 weeks. We would have had them ready to make a deal right after the election. But then I lost the election and all this shit happened and I wasn't able to do it. Well, guess what, asshole? Most of the changes you're supposed to make for the better of the United States are supposed to carry on after you're president. Hi. Excuse me 1 second. My girl is here. Give me 1 second. Do it right there. Hi. How was your workout?
She kept me off the balls.
Oh, good. That's important.
I was on my knees in my bed.
Oh.
For help.
All right. Replay later on, maybe. Excuse us. Oh, love you. I'll be done in a minute. I'm just finishing up this one. So, love you. I don't know if Chud was out there barking at me. I haven't
been upstairs yet. I just...
Yeah. Okay. Love you. Wrong number. Hey. So,
I heard 10 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
And very expensive.
Oh, this is them selling the chunks of his wall or whatever. Yeah, because it was rusty.
Stuff, special steel, special concrete.
It was special. It was like the princess of steel. It was like Princess Steel and Prince Concrete. The reason why, by the way, that stuff was stacked was because it was for private land and native land, and he was going to use eminent domain, but he didn't get the right to do it, so that shit just sat there. That's it.
Rebar. And
Rebar. What? Rebar? Who would have thought of that? Only a construction genius would know we need rebar in a wall to keep it from blowing over. Oops.
And they sold it. It's just
Government
not.
work.
It's not even believable.
Government at work. What are you talking about? He pre-bought it and didn't have the right to put it in the ground. Government at work. They got some of the money back, stupid.
Well, that's when I realized, I guess they want open borders.
They do. It's terrifying. I want to talk about Iran for a second. I want to talk. We lost 3
Yeah, speaking of terrifying.
soldiers.
Yeah.
The previous weekend. You've had hundreds of attacks, and in response to this, you have Joe Biden come out and basically give a huge warning. We're going to do this. And it's been reported and enabled all the bad guys got to scurry away and evade any kind of repercussions for what they did. What kind of foreign policy?
Okay, he's saying the Pentagon said that they warned the Houthis in one particular area, we're going to hit these sites, so get any civilians around it out. They're using the Israeli plan, which is just like warn people around, because the Houthis have some of their sites are out in the open and they're military sites. They made bases. Some of their shit is in civilian infrastructure. We're not hitting that stuff except in like warehouses and stuff like that. Nothing that's hidden in a mosque or in a fucking hotel or in a school or any of that shit. So we let them know that we were going to hit like 2 of these warehouses that were allegedly civilian, but we know they're for military use, and they cleared out, and no civilians were killed in this at all. And there may have been some like Houthi fighters in there killed, but they didn't mention it at all. Like they're not going to go, yep, they got 2 of our guys. Yeah, sorry. Discord did what? Sorry, 1 second. Boop-a-da-doo. Beg your pardon. Oh.
Policy are we seeing right now?
Well, let me just tell you, we were respected 3 years ago. Very.
Oh, you mean when Joe Biden took over for you and you got voted out and America and everybody was like, America's back, thank God. Yeah, I agree.
We did things that nobody thought were possible. We had peace in the Middle East. We had the Abraham Accords.
You had COVID. Nobody was doing anything.
We signed 4. We would have had another, I think almost everybody, maybe even Iran, as crazy as that sounds, but maybe even
It's crazy, yeah.
Iran. Iran was broke. I wouldn't let people buy.
Yeah, that's his other line that he keeps doing this whole.
China, don't buy. None of you buy.
He let South Korea buy $6 billion worth of Iranian oil, and then he got caught, and it came out in the news, and so he got rid of the waiver, which held the Iranian money in this account in South Korea for, since then, since 2019 or whatever. And that money was the money that was going to get traded for the hostages. Once October 7th happened, the money never went out the door. So it never left. It's never been used to buy any stuff. It's still, as far as I know, in the South Korean banks.
They said it cost $200 billion. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for anybody.
Yeah, then what were they? There were dozens of attacks while you were president. Syria and other places, their proxies were doing a shit ton of stuff.
They had to stay afloat. And then Biden came in and he gave up on sanctions, gave up on everything, and now
No, he didn't.
they have $200 billion cash. I'm not even talking about the $6 billion they gave for.
Also, they're an enormous country. The idea that they have $200 billion for the population that they have and just to use as a functioning country is not a lot of fucking money.
5 hostages, which is unbelievable.
Right. Well, it's not believable because it's false that the money was never given.
Or the $10 billion they gave for electricity for Iraq.
We didn't give them $10 billion for electricity for Iraq. Iraq can buy some electricity from Iran. They have a pass to do that. So that you don't have blackouts in Iraq and people side with the Iranian government proxies who want to take over.
We gave them $10 billion.
No, we did not give them $10 billion. That's just bullshit. Seriously. Let me say, can I say this any more clearly? We did not give Iran $10 billion. There is a potential over time for them to make $10 billion with Iraq buying energy from Iran eventually, period, because of the electricity that they need. But they didn't get it from us.
How are they surprised to see this?
They're very rich. Yeah. But they're also rich because Iraq is a subsidiary of Iran. That's all it is. Stupidly, we went in many years ago and we bombed the hell out of Iraq. Yeah. And all of a sudden...
You think we're going to get we should have kept the oil? I mean, you can't go there without saying we should have kept the oil, right? We should have robbed the place.
You had for
after we bombed them, we should have stole their shit.
Years, you had 2 nations for centuries with different names.
Were they? Even Rob Schmitt's like, they were different names. I don't know what that means.
Fighting. They were the same.
They were fighting. They go, bow. And he was like, oh, no. And he's like, and like, oh, and I ding, 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 ding. And then penises.
Same. They fought. They went 10 feet. Then they.
Yeah, it's like the AFL game or something.
Arrested 10 feet. Well, we knocked.
No, they didn't.
Out one of those forces, and now Iran has the whole thing to themselves, and they've essentially taken over Iraq. Iraq has $300 billion. So they have $200 billion quickly made under Biden, and they have $300 billion in Iraq.
So anything that Iraq has is automatically Iran's. Cool.
This is a force now.
Never mind Shia and Sunni. Never mind that he has no idea about how those two groups fighting against it. Like, I'm power, I'll hit your face, and you're big dummy. You're big dummy. And then they're like, I don't like you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
This is a real force. Plus, you have Russia getting together with China, which he allowed.
He allowed. A, how was he supposed to stop it? B, good luck in your senior year. Fuck them. They deserve each other.
You have Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is working with China because we treated them so badly.
Aw. We did? Why would we treat them badly? I feel bad. That was rude of us.
Treated them very badly.
Oh. We just didn't golf with them enough, I guess, right?
With great disrespect.
What's it like to see this? I mean, to
even
see
a
somebody
fist
come
bump.
in and
How about a fist?
Even a fist bump? Really? He's going back to the fucking
Don't touch my hands because they're dirty.
the fucking fist bump?
Yeah, right.
He goes over and he gives a fist bump. You know what a fist bump is? Yeah. Don't touch my hands.
You know, you realize you have to touch hands for a fist bump, you dumb motherfucker. What do you think you fist bump with? Your nutsack? What the hell? Don't touch my hands. Well, that would be an elbow knock. The fuck? I don't even know. Why am I making sense of this? Am I losing my mind? I don't understand.
Right.
Your hands are dirty. You don't do a fist bump with a respected man. It was
Jesus Christ. And you know Don Jr. like fist bumps everybody.
Terrible when I saw that. No, we have a country that's in shambles. It's a shambles.
Also, fuck MBS and the Saudis. You nuts? They're a royal family that like denigrates the rights of women and gays and all this other stuff. Respected? Get the fuck out of here. We live in a democracy. I don't have to respect that shit. We can play at that, but you don't think we actually have respect for that shit, do you? You don't have to be rude, but you also don't have to like actually believe that this dude earns your respect. He didn't get picked by his people as the perfect person to run him. He's just been it's been a straight shot of sperm for the last fucking 6 decades.
It's happened. Our country has never been like this. We're disrespected all over the world. We're a laughing stock.
Oh, this is the whole thing where everybody's laughing at Trump when he calls them on the phone, and he thinks that they're laughing at the United States because he and the land are one.
Well, they came in, they break everything that you did. I mean, they came in and for 3 years, they break everything that you guys put together.
Yeah, like his record on unemployment. Obviously, Biden broke that record. Lowest unemployment and longest stretch of unemployment in 60 years. He broke Trump's record on the stock market. Now he's doing it weekly. What else did he break? He certainly broke Infrastructure Week. He totally fucked up Infrastructure Week. Jesus.
Because
doing matters more than talking.
We were told that somehow it's bad to have a secure border. It's bad to have all of these.
No, we weren't.
Things. It's just it's fascinating to see that they want to just dismantle, and they think that that's going to be a winning policy.
We had the safest border in history.
Thank you, COVID.
The history of our country, we have the safest border. Now we have, I believe, the worst border in the history of the world.
Yeah, that's just silly.
There's never been a border like this.
Yeah, you can't tell me you've never been to a fucking border area with refugees and shit like that in your life. This guy was president of the United fucking States. Like, I get it if you're just kind of like a average rudimentary TV viewer and you've never seen like the fucking Afghanis in Pakistan or Iran, the fucking areas around Darfur and South Sudan and that kind of like, you fucking nuts.
Ever, I don't care where you go, third world.
How many do you think
countries.
came in? 20 million? You think? What do you think the number?
I think the number will be 18 or 19. That's bigger than New York State. 18 or 19 million people by the end of this catastrophe. This is the worst president
Again, he's using recidivist crossing numbers to try and jack the number up when the number is lower than what happened during his presidency.
in history.
I don't care what you think. What can you prove? Because here's the thing. This asshole would get in and go, we're going to do the biggest deportation ever. We're going to dump fucking, we're going to get 6 million people out of here, or 10 million people. We're going to get rid of 10 million illegals in the country. And then he's going to snap his finger and go, they're gone. Why? Because they never fucking were here in the first place.
He uses weaponization to run for office.
And the weaponizing and the weapons, the weapon systems and the fucking weaponry, weaponrying.
Nobody's ever done that, at least only to a minor extent, if done.
Well, then I guess they have done it. Maybe they just didn't have a big enough target. You know what I mean?
Done at all. This is third world stuff.
No, this is first world stuff. This is really this costs a pretty penny.
He has,
and in the third world, they just kind of Saddam Hussein you, wouldn't they? I mean, if America was a third world country, motherfucker, do you think you'd still be in Mar-a-Lago in the same room where that's the room with the stage where the classified documents were? That motherfucker has the nerve to do interviews in the same room. Why don't you just do it in the shitter while you're at it? Why don't you just do that? Just have the interviews. You sit on the toilet. Rob Schmitt can sit on some boxes right across from you, and you can just film it in the Mar-a-Lago shitter.
no respect at all. You talk to foreign leaders. They say, what is
No, he doesn't. He doesn't talk to foreign leaders, and you don't talk to foreign leaders.
this? Is this a joke?
Yes. When Donald Trump calls them and goes, hey, it's Donald, and they go, is this a joke? You're not really fucking calling me, are you? Yes, I totally click.
I guess he's going to get the nomination. I said maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Who can believe it?
You think it's going to be him?
Well, he just gave up the Super Bowl interview.
And I'm talking about that. He gives up a free opportunity to speak to every American at the Super Bowl. Every person watches. How do you give that up?
Well, I don't know, but I accepted it.
Because you're busy doing actual shit and you're in the middle of a negotiation and coming out, they're going to ask you about the border stuff. They're going to ask you about the negotiations you're currently in with Hamas and all this kind of stuff. And all of it is on a fucking, it's teetering on a fucking needle point. And so on the head of a pin. So you don't want to fuck it up during an interview by giving too much away. I think that's why. But if everything is press and you don't give a fuck about policy, it's an easy question.
I said, I'll take your place. Yeah. I actually put it out. I don't know, maybe they
didn't take you up on it? Weird.
If they get higher ratings, but we'll do an interview. But no, he just turned down the Super Bowl.
It's weird that they offered him that and he was like, nah, I'm good. I got president shit to do. And you're like, I'll do it. And they're like, no, have fun with Rob Schmitt.
Which I think was a very wise thing. He can't put two sentences together.
It looks terrible to turn that
down. No, we
have
a president that's terrible. The one person that's happy is Jimmy Carter. Because
this is such an odd, and this whole like shitting on Jimmy Carter thing, I don't know why they think this is a win. Like I would argue Jimmy Carter qualifies as our most genuinely Christian president. The man who exemplifies his faith and tries to live it in the best way he possibly can. If there's an example of a human being who's what Christianity is, the standard it's supposed to live up to, and tries to do it himself, it's Jimmy Carter. And these look at the look on this fucker's face. Look at him. Like, yeah, fuck Jimmy Carter and his fucking Christian bull building houses, an old fuck. That's what this is. Like, yeah, give it to him. Like, and these are remember, they used to be family value Republicans. That was the sales pitch.
Jimmy Carter looks brilliant by comparison to this.
Jimmy Carter is brilliant.
This guy. He looks like it was a brilliant administration.
Brilliant is the word. He looks like a very brilliant. You, sir, are made of the same brilliance, and you must have trained with him because you have the same gleam in your eye. And you, sir, ignorance is not made of something. Brilliance is great when it's made of something ignorant. And I want to thank the people of Nepal. Nepal. I'm doing golden child lines.
Compared to.
By the way, if in answer to your question, my alarm on my phone is Best Man in the World from the Golden Child soundtrack. I recommend it for any of my dude friends who want to, start their day right.
Biden.
Yeah.
Now, it's a very sad thing.
That's it. It's a very sad thing that you're not president anymore. I don't think so.